Hi everyone! In this video, I'm going to show you how to look up data by using functions, specifically the VLOOKUP and the HLOOKUP functions. By the end of this video, you'll know where to use each of these functions and how to use them. So let's get started. In this example, I want to show you how to use the VLOOKUP function. The VLOOKUP works by looking in the first column of a table for the value you specify. It then looks across to the column that you specify and returns whatever value it finds there. So suppose that you want to use the employee's ID to find out their salaries. And you want to do that because you want to keep the employees anonymous. So in the salaries column, you type the equal sign, VLOOKUP, and your lookup value would be the employee ID. Then it asks you what is the table array. In that case, your lookup table or all the values in that lookup table are your table array. It then asks you what is the column index number. In that case, you need to look at what is the number of that column in that lookup table. So starting with the first column, you start counting and you can see that the salary is the 8th column in that table. So you just type 8. And then lastly, it asks you if you want the exact match or the approximate match. And in this case, you want the exact match. Once you hit enter, you can see that it will return the value of the salary. However, you should make sure that you make your lookup table absolute reference, because if you want to then copy this formula for the rest of the cells, or you want to use autofill, then you need to make sure that the values in the lookup table stay fixed. So you need them to be absolute reference. To absolute reference the data, you can just press F4 on your keyboard, and basically that would make them fixed. The HLOOKUP function is similar to the VLOOKUP function, except that it searches for the lookup value in the first row of a table. If successful, then this function looks down to the specified row and returns the value it finds there. So let's say that you want to find the total amount sold by each of these salespeople. So in this table, you have the amount sold for each of these products by each salesperson, and the total, as you can see, is in the row. So you need to use the H lookup, and your lookup value would be the name of that person. Then the table array would be your lookup table. The values in the lookup table should be selected. And then you need to specify in which row do you want the data to be taken from. In this case, you want the data from the total row, which is the 5th row of this table. So you just type 5, and then you also want to find the exact match. You also need to pay attention that if you want to then copy this formula for the rest of the cells or use autofill, you need the lookup table to be absolute reference. So you can just highlight those cells and press F4 on your keyboard. That basically fixes those values. And then once you drag that formula down, it would basically find out the total for each of these people. Here you can see the application of the HLOOKUP, and I hope you found this video helpful. Let me know in the comments section if you'd like to see more of this content.